Alrighty, so this video is pretty much talking about what is considered to be the dog hunter's code and the unwritten rules or regulations that we as dog hunter try as much to follow. And that is extremely important because the more that we can adhere to this set of guidelines, the more enjoyable the entire hunting is, not only in public land, but in general. The more ethical that you become as a hunter, to put it in easy words. Point number 6. This one is, I got to notice it now more than in the past, and I already can tell you. Point number 6. Be aware of your engines. If you have a boat, and you have a motorboat with a big engine, be aware of your engine. I've been in situations already where we're sitting in a lake, about to shoot in lights, and there's people doing 60 to 80 miles an hour on a motorboat with a crazy mud engine on open water. First of all, you don't need that much torque or speed at that point because you don't have vegetation, you're not dealing with mud, you're not dealing with anything. You can go in a cruise speed, no problem, nothing will happen. But instead you decide to go at that speed with those crazy engines, you are convoluting everything. The noise is extremely loud. You're getting now wake to people that it might be sitting in a way smaller boat than yours, or people that might be sitting in a kayak, or people that might be sitting ashore, and now you're bamboozling over the decoys. Be aware of that. Yeah, good for you if you have a boat with that much power and everything, that's amazing, but that does not impress anybody else. Actually, it causes more trouble than actually anything else. Now, if you're going through a path that is thick mud, thick vegetation, and you need to get that engine roaring in order to get to you, but in open water is unnecessary. So just remember, the amount of noise and convolution that your engine is doing from you going from the ramp to your spot, or from your spot to the ramp, whatever case might be, it's not only there and you're like, oh wow, yeah, look at me going. No, you're also affecting whoever else is in the lake, either fishing, hunting, whatever case might be. And you gotta also remember that some of those wakes can be powerful enough to tip somebody on a kayak, on a canoe. So just remember that if you don't need that power, if you don't need that noise, if you don't need it all, when you're not on need of it, just cruise easy. There's no need to be the fastest boat in the lake, and there's no need to have the loudest motor in the lake, because now we're just creating pollution and spooking everything that is around. So just be aware of your engines, okay? Number 7, this is another one that is kind of linked together. Check your level of noise and movement. What do I mean by this? I've been in hunts where I can hear people blasting music 3 minutes prior shooting, when there's bird already in the move. And there's people listening to music, there's people walking around, there's people jumping around. You gotta remember, we're hunting birds. We're hunting animals that are visually on top of the game because they're on top of us. They can see from up down. We are only have so much that we can cover. These birds can see little movement from far away. So if you have people, let's say that I'm 300 yards from another group of people that are listening to music and dancing and jumping in the water, and there's birds already trying to find a place where they're gonna sit, where they're gonna eat, where they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do, and I'm 300 yards from them, and their birds are moving that way, they're not gonna come close to me because they're gonna stay really far away from that much commotion, that much movement, that much noise. So just remember, once again, concealment is key for dog hunting. And that also applies to noise. That also applies to movement. When you see people deer hunting, you don't see them jumping on top of their tree stands. They're not jumping on top of all the sticks under real close to their blinds. So if you don't do it for deer, why would you do that for dog hunting? It makes no sense. So please, when you're in public land or private land, just remember, keep your volumes down, voice, cell phones, music, all this stuff. Keep your volumes down and leave your movement to the minimum as possible. You will have enough time to move. If you have to retrieve birds, you're going to have enough time to move. If you had to reset up decoys 17,000 times during the first 20-25 minutes, there's time to move. But before the hunt and through the first couple of hours of the hunt, minimize your movement, because every movement that you do, once again, doesn't affect only you, but it will affect everybody with the vicinity of you. So just keep that in mind. Number 8, water swatting. What is water swatting a bird? It's taking a shot at a bird that is in water. Now, not to be confused with taking a shot of a bird and the bird it's not completely dispatched, and then you have to send a follow-up shots in order to finish the bird. We're talking about a bird that is in water and you raise up and shoot him while in the water. Now, this point has a lot of debate, and I'm going to give you both of those views and explain where I am when it comes to this. One of the views is, what is the ultimate goal of a dog hunt? When we set up decoys, when we set up our blinds and we set up our spreads, we create a X point or a hole for the birds to land, or for the birds to wanting to land. So a lot of people have a valid point saying that isn't the ultimate goal to have the birds land on the X? So if the bird lands on the X, why not take the shot while they're in the water? And that is a valid point, because that is indeed the ultimate goal of setting up a spread and getting that hole for the birds to get in. Now the other point is the unfair advantage that we will have upon the bird for the bird being in water and not having a quick speed and or fast acceleration and elevation, which is another valid point. So where do I stand with this? For me particularly, I do prefer that if I'm in a situation where the bird landed on the X, I will prefer to rearrange myself, lift them up, spook them to get up, take an ethical shot, game over. I would rather not water swat a bird. But once again, that's one of those debates. That's what I'm seeing, and I can see both ends of the spectrum. I can see the valid points on one end, I can see the valid points on the other one. Me personally, I found it, once again, more ethical to close that unfair advantage of the bird by giving them the chance to lift up, and once it's off the water, take an ethical shot. Still, the bird is trying to gain speed and altitude, and you still have a fair chance to take that bird, versus the bird not having any speed, altitude, sitting in the water. Now, that's my appreciation, but that's the point of this, is just to convey this information and see both ends on the point. But that's what I see about bird swatting. Another part that to me is really important: do not shoot the roost. What is a roost? A roost is an area where the birds are either sleeping, chilling, or is the area where the birds congregate to completely spend or either the night or the vast majority of the night before they move to another secluded area. Why do I say not to shoot the roost? A lot of times you will find a higher volume or numbers of birds in there. Here, and this is also debatable. A lot of people have different points, and I don't have too much science on certain of those points, so I cannot guarantee that that is a yes or a no. But some people say that you can shoot the roost if most percentage of birds are birds that just came new to there. I don't know anything about that. I can speak for what I know and what I have seen. And what I'm saying is, if you shoot a roost and you have local birds and mixed already migrated birds, the minute that you start shooting that roost and you get those birds down, you disrupt their pattern. And by disrupting their pattern, you're also disrupting what are they gonna do. So at that point, you're not only affecting the pattern of a migratory bird, but you're also changing the pattern and the activity of those birds within the area that people are already scouting. So quite easily, I've seen the fact that people are shot and roost, and if the bird were accustomed to come this way and go to that pond and that pond and that pond and not pay attention to these 3 ponds here, that's not the case. Most of those birds actually leave the area, and some of them, in the vast majority, they don't come back. So you pretty much will be ruining that just for you and for other people, and more if that's the area that you like to hunt the most. You are gonna have a great volume of birds that are gonna leave and quite possibly not come back. So you can only hope that you have a big push of birds to come in that are new to the area and they don't know what happened. Because if that's not the case, your chances of you seeing those birds coming back are really, really low. And if they do, they are really aware of everything, so they will stay away and shy from that area, flying at lower levels or anything like that, or trying to follow decoys. Point number 10 is the pinnacle of all of them, because I see all of the other points being bypassed as a result of this. Be on time. Don't show up 30 minutes before shooting light, 5 minutes before shooting dark. Give you enough time to get in there, either walking or by boat or whatever case might be. Do whatever noise you need to make, throw your decoys, put your stuff, situate it together if you need to be a blinds, whatever. Give yourself plenty of time when you go to these areas. The reason being is nothing more frustrating than having somebody get close to you, getting somebody sky busting, or getting somebody making a lot of noise and a lot of movement just because they got there late and now they cannot figure out what to do. So now they got pressure on trying to do things fast. They start cutting corners, and among those cutting corners is pretty much everything on that list. So be on time. If you already know where you're going, be on time. Give you enough time to go and set up, do your noise, do whatever you gotta do. Once everything is set up, hunker down, chill down, take a nap, talk, enjoy, have fun with your friends. But just remember, keep your volumes down, keep your noise down, keep your movements to the minimum as possible, because the fact that you might not see birds flying at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, I guarantee you there's birds moving. And the more that you move, the more that you keep your lights on, the more that you do all that kind of stuff, the more that you're pushing those birds to a different area. And then once again, that's not only affecting you, but it's affecting other people. So as much as possible, try to be on time. Couple bonus tips. Let's have respect for each other. This community is growing, it's getting popular. And let's be respectful to each other. I've seen already here people getting really to their chops because of people not following this kind of stuff, and they get heated and things get rowdy fast. So if somebody approaches you with respect, and just be respectful. If you need to approach somebody that is either too close, or they're talking too much, or the loudness, or they're trying to call you birds, or whatever case might be, approach them with respect, and also ask for respect back. I've seen a lot of people that they get like, oh, I'm in public land, almost like public land is a free-for-all and we can do whatever. Now, that is not the case. Yes, it's indeed public land. Doesn't mean you can do whatever. If you could do whatever, then you could shoot 6 pintail. But you don't, right? So it's not that you can do whatever. It's just that because there's not an entity on top of your neck regulating and handing out tickets and beating you up, that give you the perspective that you can do whatever you want and you can get away with it. But that doesn't have to be that way. If we all collectively follow these as much as possible, that kind of encounters will not happen, that kind of disrespectful behaviors will not happen, because we all will be doing great. We're all going to be getting birds. We all are going to be getting birds the right way without having to get into a craziness with somebody else. So just be respectful, but also approach people. If you see them make a mistake, if you see them do something wrong, approach them with respect, but just remember there is a fine line in there. You also must ask and deserve respect back. So it's a symbiotic situation there. So just be respectful. More importantly, have fun, enjoy it. Best beautiful mornings that you ever gonna see in your life is gonna be probably sitting on a blind or probably sitting at the edge of the water waiting for shooting light to happen. Some of the most beautiful sceneries that you're gonna ever see are gonna be duck hunting, and more if you like water, if you like marshes, if you like trees and open fields. Have fun, enjoy it, soak it in, and just remember, we are a small group of people. We are probably some of the luckiest group of people because we, for 90 days, get to go and see sunrises that millions of people can't do. Millions of people are missing out on those. So take pride of it. Take pride on everything that you do. Take pride on following your little dog hunting code, regardless if you find it stupid or antiquated. It may be old, but I'm not saying that that's the only way, but I'm saying that's a pretty solid way to doing things without disrupting the wildlife, without disrupting everybody else, and without, more importantly, without having a sour or putting a sour note on everybody's day for doing the wrong thing. Okay, so once again, have respect, have fun, enjoy what you're gonna see, because not everybody is privileged to see that. Enjoy it, respect it, take care of it, be proud of it, and be proud of who you are as a hunter, and be proud of what you do as a hunter. So there you have it. I hope that this helped. I hope that you find within yourselves to maybe write this down and follow it as much as you can, because I guarantee you, if 50% of our community start following this in public land, in no time we're gonna improve public land hunting for wildfowlers. Guaranteed. That is guaranteed. So with that said, thank you so very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video, and I will see you in the next one. Pancho.